You're back with another one. This time we got top 10 most epic entrances in anime, volume 2 by VinnyTube. Like it, sub, let's get right into it. Last one was lit, so I'm looking forward to this.
I noticed that you enjoyed the top entrances video I put up before, so today we're taking a look at some more anime entrances. What better way to make an impact than with a dynamic entry? And today we'll go through some more of the best ones, both heroic and villainous. Let's not waste any more time and let's get on with the show and dive in to see some more epic anime entrances that you may have missed out on. We start the list off with one of the most recognizable stock figures in Japanese history, Oda Nobunaga.
静かにしな真田幸村この俺を椅子組めやがった
With a historical figure like Oda Nobunaga, anything less than a stellar entrance is unacceptable, and Sengoku Basara did him justice. It's funny because instead of being an actual entrance, he just stood there. Nobunaga stands on top of the mountain with lightning and his music suddenly blares. That's when you know that you're dealing with the Oda Nobunaga. It's just so much impact for a guy who's simply standing there looking menacing. He didn't even need to say a word, nor did he need to jump down and mow down Masamune and team in order to make a statement. Something that we're pretty sure he can do if we base everything from his appearance. Who knew that you could be so badass and menacing by just standing and gazing?
They know they screwed.
After Nobunaga, we then have Shinra with one of the best moments in early Fire Force. Let's just say that Shinra and Tamaki didn't have the best of starts. It was a rough introduction for the both of them, so I knew that a moment like this was coming. Still, I believe that anime moments come down to execution, and despite seeing a save like this coming a mile away, I still found myself caught up in the moment when I saw it. It was just perfect, but in an ironic way. You have Shinra, the good guy, coming in like an actual devil to save the girl. That, followed by the guy being calm yet strong and reassuring Tamaki, just gives off legit heartwarming imagery if you were to ask me. It's Tamaki's facial expression afterwards that completely sells the scene. You can see how she cycles through them as she looks at her savior, whom she's not really on good terms with. This is probably not Fire Force's undisputed best scene, but it has to be in the running for that title.
Tamaki's so adorable, and like, I enjoyed the Lucky Letcher slapstick for a while until they started doing it during fights, like real situations, and like she was just useless in a bikini. I was just like, all right, now y'all going too far with it. Like it's cool to use it as a joke, but then like this is a serious situation. Like people are out here, their houses getting burned, people are out here dying, and she's trying to save lives, do prayers, and her clothes falling off. She's like, ah, it's like if you don't forget about that, like wear a belt or something, bro. Like it's not hard. Wear a one-piece suit with a whole ass fit underneath too, just in case. No, you.
We continue with an isekai, because why not? It's not a heroic one though, unless you're just grateful to this character for getting the ball rolling on the Rem memes. The White Whale's entrance in ReZero will remain one of my favourite cliffhangers and entrances in the series. There are many entrances that are just as good throughout the series, like Roswell in the Mansion arc or Reinhard saving everyone, but I like this one due to the sheer tension that it brings. It must be the atmosphere, the eerie silence, and the setup of the whole thing. Then Subaru's phone rings, and you hear nothing but the ringtone of doom before it finally appears, flying with the moon behind it. It was a mighty figure whose mere presence seemed to drain the entire army's willpower. It seemed that the battle had already been decided. But suddenly, you have Subaru and Rem starting the assault along with heroic music that gave me goosebumps. Thus, the much-awaited battle starts and the episode just cuts off, giving us one of the biggest cliffhangers in the first season. Given the series and its number of cliffhangers, that's actually saying something. Let's continue on with a reasonably recent villain entrance. How about Kenny Ackerman in Attack on Titan?
So the final boss was a whale? Multiple whales? Whales are already hard enough to, like, they're so big, they're already hard enough to beat. I don't know how you gonna beat multiple flying whales with destructive powers.
I think Kenny's entrance is so good because it's the culmination of hype. You don't see many characters face Levi head-on with a smile on their face. Throughout his debut episode, you have this sense of dread encasing you. This in large part due to his In the Shadows scenes. Just who is this mysterious figure that seems to be so threatening? The build-up's all there. You have the name Kenny the Ripper getting thrown around, a rather elaborate urban legend, and a short intro to the backstory. Then, bang! Kenny makes his big appearance, outright shooting down two people and nonchalantly greeting Levi, leading to one of the more iconic moments in this season of Attack on Titan, where Levi screams out the name of the assailant at the top of his lungs. Now, that's how you make a villainous entrance. Good build-up, good sense of tension, and a sudden and impactful entrance that quickly changes the flow of things.
That family shook for the rest of their life. Walking down the street, dead body flies down in front of you, you shook. You're not getting over that. That's that shock that's gonna put you in permanent horror.
Up next is the grand entrance of the world's greatest hero. We finish up the first season of My Hero Academia with an entrance from All Might. Our protagonists so far have been doing pretty well for themselves given who they are in the last few episodes of My Hero Academia. However, they can only do so much, and as we continue on with the battle that's been slowly going south for them, who better to save the day than All Might?
My fault.
Everyone's left staring at him as he walks down without the signature smile on his face.
Technical
It's a
difficulties.
rare sight, but it only means that help has arrived and that all the good guys can finally rest easy. What a better way to cap it off with his own epic line. When someone like All Might says that it's all fine now, you better believe it. An ass-kicking is about to commence. In a moment that can also double as one of the best anime saves, we have Ichigo saving Rukia in the climax of the Soul Society arc. Now, I think this scene has it all. A gigantic mass of power like nothing you've ever heard before is about to make short work of Rukia when you have the hero, having completed his training arc just in time, stepping in. Take note that this was before Bleach power levels went completely over the rails, and when characters hyping things up through words still mattered, and you have Ichigo just stepping between Rukia and the giant phoenix like a boss. It's a classic and admittedly cliched scene, but I just can't help but love it after all these years. And I think that this scene set the pace for the rest of the episode and the upcoming decisive battles. And to this day, this is still one of my favorite Bleach episodes of all. Period.
助けに来たぜルキアよく言ったアルフォンス・エルリック
For such a critically acclaimed show like Full Metal Alchemist, you've got to think that it's bound to have one of the best entrances in anime. Well, here you go with Roy Mustang's entrance against Lust. With Al and Riza in dire condition against one of the more troublesome homunculi to deal with, who else better to make the save in the entrance than Roy Mustang? Yep, I didn't buy the statement that Roy Mustang was dead one bit, because it was pretty much a setup to lead to a moment like this. And it was just glorious. Wounded, but not going down, Mustang makes his much-awaited return and takes on Lust in one of the top highlights of FMA Brotherhood. His return coming, right? Still, that knowledge doesn't make this moment any less epic, as we gifted the scene of Mustang being awesome and just brute forcing his way through Lust's regeneration with his unmatched firepower. No pun intended. Regeneration and near immortality got you down? You're just not using enough firepower.
Didn't even flinch. Such a badass. See, originally I thought this list was gonna be of first time entrances like this one. This is a first time entrance, like the first time you see the character, or like Madara, first time you see him, which he's definitely gonna be on this list. Now I'm thinking about it, unless he was on the last list. I don't really remember. It was kind of like a week ago. I reacted to that.
Next up, make way for the almighty
Most likely he
Kaido
was on the
in
last
this
one.
moment from One Piece.
死に場所を求める男の名は百獣のカイドウ。
If you're making a case for being one of the most overpowered characters, you better make sure to secure the complete package. An intimidating appearance and a menacing weapon aren't merely enough. Not in a world like One Piece's. We've seen it all in One Piece, so for your next big villain, he has to go the next step and make an entrance to remember. And Kaido did just that. This is but a preview of things to come, as he'll undoubtedly be one of the toughest obstacles the Straw Hats have to overcome in One Piece history. Given how long One Piece has been going on, that's saying something.
世界最高の戦争始めようぜ
I'm trying to see what he sound like in English. They're gonna give him a deep, intimidating ass
Among
voice.
the 7 deadly sins, who's the best at flexing? Escanor by far, literally
Without a
or
doubt.
not. The big guy has shown himself to be one of the strongest among the group, and someone of that stature completely deserves moments to just show off a bit and make an impact. I mean, he's the sin of pride after all. Escanor gets his chance against Estarossa of the Commandments. It's amazing to see Escanor just nonchalantly walking towards Estarossa, completely no-selling his powers, much to the latter's shock. I find it a very badass moment, and at some points, straight up disrespect to the villain. It's a good way to
Yeah.
open the curtains for the fight, which is really good in its own regard, so you should find a video of the fight after watching this, and see the fun for yourself if you haven't already.
Escanor is so cocky and I love it. Oh, he was on this list. Okay. I thought he was on the last one because it's such a dead
Finishing up our
giveaway.
top 10 today is Madara's appearance.
Oh wait, the Naruto one was the
For so long in the series,
When he came
you've
to
heard
fight
the name
Pain.
Madara. He's been spoken of as this all-powerful legendary figure that played such a big role in a lot of stuff that laid the foundation for the world of Naruto. You'd imagine what kind of broken ninja he has to be to lay claim to all those stories. Wouldn't it be crazy if he were to somehow appear in the Great Ninja War? How would everyone match up against him? Well, your questions got answered with a bang, and not in a good way for the protagonists. Similar to Kaido, what really made this moment stand out is the hype beforehand. Madara has been built up really well for so long, and when he did appear, he delivered. An army against him? No problem.
Was Kaido
the
built
Kages
up?
against him? No problem. The hero team against him? No problem. Madara really delivered on the hype, and I can't help but think that Kishimoto actually wrote himself into a corner by making Madara too strong, making some major plot twists necessary for the good guys to defeat him. Nonetheless, Madara stomping the Shinobi Alliance for me is not just one of the most iconic moments in Naruto, but shonen anime as a whole. So
Now I know that they hyped up Doflamingo, and they hyped up Mihawk. They hyped up. There's one other person I'm remembering. Big Mom. They hyped up Shanks. They didn't hype up Kaido. Kaido was just kind of like an offhand like, oh yeah, Kaido, yeah, he beast. Yeah, he Yonko. Yep, just like Blackbeard. Yep, Big Mom Big Mom Blackbeard, Whitebeard. Was Whitebeard. They were all Yonkos, so yeah, hype, and then Kaido, they were just like, and Kaido's a monster. Nothing like Madara. Madara, they were all talking about him for the whole series, it felt like. Valley of the End has a whole ass statue of him. And Hashirama. And they both were over like super hyped. Like I was so ready. I was ready for Hashirama to destroy like 2 of the tail beasts right there. Like he was that strong, like he just take them out all in his own. Just take like, hey, I'm gonna take these 2 over here. You guys got the rest, or something like that. I don't know, because Hashirama is just so freaking strong. That should be in the next, volume 3. Put the resurrection of the Hokage, the actual resurrection, instead of the Orochimaru first time against the third. Like talking about him resurrecting all 4.
how about you? What are some of the best entrances that you have in mind?
In fact, now that the video's over, I'm over here. I've always thought this. Ain't no way in hell the 3rd Hokage, Hiruzen, is out here beating the 1st and 2nd Hokage at the same time along with Orochimaru. No way in hell. They had to have been nerfed so hard from the reanimation. Like, Orochimaru must have been not able to bring them back anywhere near their full strength. Anywhere near. Like they're probably like a 1/4 of their strength because they no way Hiruzen over here taking on those. And then he's talking about, I must stop the fourth at all costs. Yeah, you should have stopped the second. You should have stopped the first at all costs. You know, you could probably take the second, but on the second and the first and the fourth, you not taking. You not taking at all. let me know if you think Hiruzen should have won that fight. You know, he shouldn't have, but you know. Also, how did Orochimaru get their souls back? The mask, and he sacrificed himself. That's right. And then he just had a whole ass Zetsu clone. And he just took that body. That's kind of crazy. Orochimaru crazy, bro. Hey, I'm out of here. Make sure y'all like the video, comment, subscribe. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the middle. I think I got it fixed. But, you know, I'm heated. So, yeah, I'm out. Peace.